on a series, and I'm probably going to make these into shorts to where I teach crochet stitches. I've had many people ask me to do these type of things before in my life, and so I figured I would start and I would do it live to give people an opportunity to ask questions. So if anybody comes on and wants to ask any, let me know. But in the meantime, I'm going to get started. All right, so the hardest, probably the easiest, let's start with the easiest, obviously. I am working on a project to where I'm going to have to use the magic circle, but I'll start with the chain stitch first. To do a chain stitch, this is what I like to do. I like to take the end of the yarn, pinch it with my non-dominant hand, and take the one that's attached to the ball, wrap it around my finger to where it makes a crisscross, just like that. You're going to hold that crisscross with your thumb and slide it off your finger. You're going to take your hook, put it in, and grab the yarn that is leading to the ball of yarn. Grab both ends and pull. And that is how you start any chain stitch of any kind. And just pull it a little tighter, but not too tight. And then you're going to take this and hold it down here. And then to start a chain stitch, you take the pieces attached to the ball of yarn, wrap it around your hook, and I'd like to do from back of the hook away from you, come up and above and forward. Then you grab it with your hook, slide it down, go as slow as you want to, because I know sometimes when you first start it's a little intimidating, and you pull it through that loop. I'll show it again. You go to the back of your hook away from you, bring it up and around. You grab it with the hook and pull it through the loop. I'm gonna try to get it to focus good. Back, above and around and forward. Grab it with your hook and pull it through. And you can save this video in case you want to watch again, but I'm going to teach it one more time. You're going to go around the back, up and around like this, grab it with your hook, and pull through. Hi, welcome. You're welcome to ask any questions in the chat. I'm just going to start a series where I'm teaching crochet lessons. All right, now that there's more people in the live stream, you bring it back, over, around to the front, grab it with your hook, pull through, and that's how you make a chain stitch. I'm going to turn this into a short later so people can re-watch it. But I'm going to start a series where I'm teaching different crochet stitches. All right, so to start with probably the simplest, most well-known stitch in crochet, you're going to take your chain, and to do the stitch, I like to skip one. So you want to skip this stitch right here and go to the next one. Hold that. And you're going to take your yarn again, like we did before, go around the back, over to the front, and then you're going to take your hook, put it through that little stitch right there, just like that. Wrap the yarn around again, pull that, and then pull through all three. And this is called a half double crochet. This is probably the one I've used the most. Now I know a lot of people start with the single crochet, so I'll do that one too, but this is probably the one I've used the most in my whole time doing this craft. So to do the single crochet, You do not wrap your yarn around. You go to the stitch you need to, put it in there, and then take the yarn, wrap it around, pull it through the chain right there, and then you're going to wrap around again and pull through both loops. That is a single crochet. All right, so now we did those. I'm going to undo those. And like I said, I'm going to make this into a short to where people can rewatch it again. And probably make longer videos too. But hi, welcome. You're welcome to say anything in the chat. Just keep it respectful, ask questions. And now I'm going to show the double crochet. So you take your yarn, go around the back, forward and back around. And then to do a double crochet, you want to go skip 2 chains and go into the 3rd chain from your hook. This is probably going to give you the straightest lines. And then you're going to take your hook, insert it into there, wrap your yarn around your hook, pull through, and you're going to have 3 loops on your hook. So to do double crochet, you wrap it around again, pull it through just 2 of the loops. Now this can be difficult if you're a beginner. Take your time. Start over if you have to. You run through 2, wrap it around again, and then pull through the last 2 loops. All right. Oh, hi. Okay, Wes and Bobby said, hey, hi. I'm just doing little crochet lessons right now. Y'all welcome to ask questions. Anything like that, just keep it respectful, nice. And I'm going to make this into a video later for people to rewatch. And I might do some shorts for each individual stitch for people to look over. And I just think that's a good idea. It's nice to go back to. This is what I used to watch whenever I was first learning this. All right, so do the double crochet again, because it can be difficult for beginners. You take your yarn, go around the back of your hook, wrap it around just like that, go into the next chain, insert your hook, take the yarn again and go around, pull through, wrap the yarn around again, and just pull through 2. Hold this one back if you have to. Wrap around again and pull through the last 2. And that's going to be your double crochets. Those are probably the top 3 most common ones. I might do another series on the more complicated ones, I guess you would say. But if you're going to learn anything, learn those 3 stitches. And this, since I'm currently going to try to work on a project, I'm going to start with a magic circle. And this is something that I used to be so intimidated by. It was so difficult to wrap my mind around. So, to do a magic circle, you're going to take the end of your yarn, hold it with your non-dominant thumb. And I like to wrap it around 2 fingers. Take the yarn, wrap it around like that. And you take it and hold that crisscross section. Sometimes I like to adjust it a little bit. So you take the yarn that's attached to the ball. You put your hook in. And the whole time you're holding this little crisscross section. And you grab that yarn. And again, this is something you can practice multiple times to get it, because it took me a few times. All right. So kind of holding that crisscross still. You're going to wrap around your yarn, around the hook. And you're going to do 1 chain. And after you do this one chain, it should hold it good. All right, and it's going to kind of flip over like this kind of oddly. What I like to do is just grab it and unwrap it. And you can do it as small and big as you need to. But for what I'm making, I'm going to do 6 single crochets into the magic circle. Like I said, I'll probably do a short explaining the magic circle thing because I know I had to watch a video over and over and over to get it right. Hi! Like I said, y'all are welcome to ask questions or anything. I want to start practicing to make a video series on teaching stitches. So I figured I would start here. But hi, welcome. And 6. But yeah, anytime you're learning something new with this, don't be discouraged. Just keep trying it. I know sometimes, like me, I love to, anytime I'm doing a skill, I'll try to learn it as fast as I can. Don't try to do that too much because it's going to take you a few times to get it. Well, like I said, I'm going to do a video to where it can be watched over and over again. So you can just re-practice it as many times as you need. Oh, and also a little crochet tip. If you do not have a stitch marker, what I like to do is take the end that's kind of your pieces straggling, and you can use this as a stitch marker. It just sticks out right there. Because I'm constantly losing my stitch markers. Does anybody else do that? I can never keep up with all of them because they're so tiny. But yeah, if you lose your stitch marker, just use a little piece of yarn. And it works just the same. There we go. So if I were to make a video series on this, on making different stitches and things like that, is there anything y'all would be interested in learning on it? Let me know in the chat down below. I'm trying to think, maybe how to read written patterns. That was one I struggled with for a while. How to make a granny square. And done with that. Is there anything that y'all like to make or do? Like, let's see, I know a lot of people are into drawing, obviously. Knitting, carpentry. Again, I'm just going to grab this and use it as my stitch marker. All right, and again, in case anybody missed it, to do a single crochet, you go into the stitch you need to, insert your hook, wrap around, back to the front, pull that string through, wrap it around, and pull through both loops. Simple, simple, simple. And all right, so here's something to keep the conversation going. If there was anything you could learn how to do, any kind of skill, like anything like that, what would you love to learn how to do? Hmm. Read diagrams for patterns. Ooh, that's probably going to be my next goal because I've seen those shared a lot on Facebook groups and stuff. And it looks like it can make a lot of cool things, but I have not learned how to read those. I can read like written patterns where it has like SC for single crochet, that kind of thing. But I know what you're talking about with the diagrams. It's where it's like X's and dashes and lines and stuff to represent each stitch, and it's going all over the paper. Is that what you're talking about? If so, yeah, I want to learn how to do that too. So maybe we can learn it together. That would be cool. I bought the flower. Okay, Sarah says, I bought the flower card deck. It looks gibberish. Yeah, that's how I felt about regular written patterns too. I was so confused. I think I watched probably 10 YouTube videos to learn how to do that. And that was, I think when I learned how to do written patterns was about 5 years ago. Well, four, maybe four. About 4 years ago, I learned how to read written patterns. Most of what I did before was just watch videos because I'm a very visual learner. If I can watch someone do it and I have the opportunity to kind of copy it, that's how I learn really well. But yeah, I know what you mean by it looks like gibberish. But it seems like a handy thing to know. All right, get my little homemade stitch marker up here. All right, Sarah, me too. I learned from YouTube about 2 years ago and still learning. Oh, cool. I'm trying to think what I learned to crochet early in 2018. I was trying to learn how to do a pretty border for a blanket I had knitted for my nephew that was due that spring. And I could not find one on how to knit one. So I saw my mother-in-law. She was crocheting a blanket for him as well because it was her grandson. And I saw how pretty her borders were and stuff on other stuff. And I was like, how do you do that? And then I realized she does crochet, which is with one hook, and I was doing it knitting with two hooks. And she told me, explained to me what it was. And I just one day decided, you know what, I'm going to learn by watching YouTube. And I found the pattern for a border I really liked and I thought was nice. And that's how I learned how to do it. And I started doing it like that and I loved it. And I just started looking up how to make other things, like other baby blankets and all that. And I don't think I've done knitting since. I know there's some people who absolutely love it and stick with knitting and it looks great. But I just started picking this up and I have not looked back because it's so much fun. I just like it. I like crochet better. So yeah, YouTube has helped me learn a lot in that regard. Um, how are you? Good. How are you doing? I started out this video teaching some stitches, and I'm probably going to make that into a video later for other people to look back on. And right now, I'm just kind of chatting about if I was to make other videos and teaching other things with crochet, what would you like to learn? Too. I want to make a beanie. Oh, I used to make a lot of beanies and stuff. I need to get back into that. I lived in Florida for a little while and I had to quit because who's wearing a beanie in Central Florida? But now that I've moved back further, a little further north, I'm probably going to have to start doing that again. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I'll definitely probably make a video on that. There's a lot of them. It can be as simple and as complicated as you want. Haha, for real. Yeah. It was so funny because we were living, my family was living up in the mountains. A husband had gotten a job up there and Smoky Mountains. And I had a whole collection of winter stuff I had collected over a few years because it would get so bone chilling cold there. To me, anyway. I know some people don't think it is. But, and I had a whole collection, and then we found out we were going to be moving to Florida. So I was like, okay. I had gotten rid of everything that was winter, like the heavy sweaters, unless I absolutely loved them for a special occasion. The coats, I had waterproof, like fur snow boots and everything. I got rid of it all. And then we move kind of in between. And now it's all cold again. So it's like I regret so badly about getting rid of all that winter stuff just to move back where it's a little colder. All right. You asked, you should make like those cute scarves. Yeah, I haven't made a scarf in a long time actually. I need to do that again. 1, 2, 3. I used to make infinity scarves whenever that was a real popular thing, but I think those have kind of gotten out of style. Oh yeah, making like a long, just a regular long scarf, it doesn't have to be. It's a very beginner friendly. It can take you a little bit of time if you're willing to do that, but in sense of stitches and stuff, it doesn't have to be super complicated. Three. Also, room decor is really cute. Those plants. Oh yeah, I just learned how to make a rose that I'm planning on selling on Valentine's Day. I think no, I didn't have to save that live stream. I'll show it to you. It's real cool. Anyway, I just learned how to make these from another girl on YouTube. You can make a really cute bouquet with those. Yeah, I'm planning on taking them to a couple markets and saying you can buy one for this price, but you can get 3 for slightly cheaper than what it'd be for one each. Some kind of little deal like that. I like to do those. They're so cute. They're pretty. Thank you. It was a YouTube tutorial I found on here. I cannot remember the name at the top of my head, but I'll see if I can figure out how to screenshot it. But she did a lot of tutorials on how to make flowers and stuff, and I'm planning on probably over the summer when markets slow down to learn how to do them. Because I really want to learn how to make those and those lavender ones. Right, get that going. Yeah, the room decor thing would be really cool. I actually made, I think it's called macrame. Kinda. I made a really simple one time because my daughter has a huge bow collection. Because pretty much my whole family on my husband's side is crafty. Somebody makes something. So he has an aunt who makes hair bows for little girls, and she'll customize them and everything. And so over the years with my daughter, she's slowly had a collection build up, and I had to make a hanger. So I made one of those because it's real easy to just clip them on the yarn and it sticks really well. And it was not hard to make at all because I don't know anything about macrame. So it's just very simple. Hang some strands and then I braided some just to make it look pretty. Go. you go. Yeah, I'm probably going to start editing this and separating it out a little bit to teach different stitches, because that's what I was doing for the first 5 to 10 minutes of this. And I'm probably going to have to end it here soon. So if y'all have any questions, go ahead and type them up. I'll give you a few minutes. If anything you would like for me to teach on here with this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do too many long tutorials right now, but just learning different stitches and things like that real slowly and up close, I can do that right now. So if there's any kind of stitch or anything like that you want to have videos on to look back at, let me know. Oh, and if you're wondering what I'm making, it's going to be these little chicken keychains. I'm going to add a little red comb to the top here later, but right now I like to make all the little bodies first. It's really good to make the kind of an assembly line thing, but that's what I'm making right here currently. I'm making the bottom and it's going to come up like that. Let me just put that little guy right there. There we go. All right. Again, y'all don't be shy. Ask any question down below, and if I can make a video into it, like a short, I will be glad to do that. Just any type of problem you've ever had with crocheting, how to hold the yarn, or how to make a certain stitch, different little tips and tricks, or any kind of problems you've run into, let me know, and I'll see if I can make a little short on it real quick. Or teach it on here if I have time. Just let me know. Can't hurt to ask. And I'm just using this thing as a stitch marker because I have no idea where mine is right now. Oh, and another thing I just thought of. I know a lot of people tell different ways to hold the yarn in your hand while you're doing it. Let me turn my ring around. But this is how I've always liked to do it. I take the yarn and wrap it around my pinky like that, with it facing towards me. And I weave it to the back of my ring finger, front of my middle finger, and to the back and over on my pointer finger. I know there's a lot of different grips and stuff that people teach, but this one has been the best for me because it kind of allows me to pull on it with my pointer finger to get more slack. But you can tighten your fingers on the bottom to hold it more steady, depending on what you need for the moment. So that was another thing I thought of as a little help with that. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little scratchy. I've had a little bit of a cold off and on. Alright, that makes it almost 40 minutes long, so I'm probably going to end it here and just finish this off camera. Again, it's just going to end up looking like this, and I'm going to add the comb later. It makes a cute little keychain. And again, y'all let me know if there's any type of stitching tutorials y'all would like to see. You can subscribe to my channel and send a comment or something underneath a post, and I will be glad to do it. Thank you.